Hello, I am a programmer, and today I will explain why you too would benefit from learning programming. First, some backstory. I originally started coding on a website called Khan Academy when I was 10 years old. There, I learned the programming language JavaScript. Since then, originally, I was not very good, but as time went on, and I devoted more time and effort into it, I began to love coding. I've made several fun programs and games, and I have since expanded my repertoire, adding 2 new languages, C# and Python. I intend to make a career out of it. And you too can. Programming is fun because of video games. Lots of people like playing video games, but making them is much more fun. If nothing else gives you the excuse to play them, I'm not playing video games, I'm building a career. It also allows you to design your own game. I'm not saying you'll be able to design sophisticated 3D video games with realistic graphics the instant you start, but with time and practice, you can build a simple game and start moving on to more complex ones. Programming is also important because of logic. Computers are entirely logical. Unless you have an actual problem with your computer, like a literal bug stuck in it, which has happened, that's why glitches are called bugs. Anyway, unless you have an actual problem with your computer, all your glitches and problems can be fixed through logic. If you think it through from the computer's point of view, you will find the solution, whether a simple typo or a complex mathematical error. And either way, you'll enjoy solving it. The logic you learn from programming can also be used for other things. Coding is not just about video games. It is also useful for many practical applications. Robots, for example, are used in everything from medical work to factory work. There are lots of computer programs that are made to help both individuals and businesses. For example, my parents own a business and they use a program called Lightspeed to keep track of invoices, finances, inventory, and other things. Without programs like Lightspeed, businesses would be much more inefficient as they are forced to hire more employees and build massive filing systems to keep track of all that information. It might seem like every application of coding is different and must take a lot of time to learn, but once you learn one language, you can use the principles and logic you learned from it to learn the next one faster. The more programming languages you know, the faster you'll be able to learn them. As automation takes over many jobs, it also adds new ones, those of programming. Those programs and robots have to be coded anyway. If you can write code well, you should always be able to find a job. And even if you're not making a career in coding, the knowledge of programming will still be useful. If you work in marketing and have to sell a software-related product, it's a lot easier to sell it if you understand how it works. If you want a web page, even if you're not making it yourself, which you can if you have that knowledge, you can use the programming knowledge you have to explain to someone else how to make it from their own point of view, making it much easier and faster for both sides. And even if your career has nothing at all to do with programming, you can still use the logic that you learned to make wise decisions. The best thing to do is to start coding today. The younger you start, the longer you'll be able to learn it. Because if there's anything that programming takes, it's time. The longer you do it, the better you are. If you put it off a bunch, you'll have much less time to get good at it. So the best thing to do is to start coding today. One easy option is Khan Academy, the website that I learned programming on. It is completely free. The only thing it costs is time. It teaches pure code, allowing you to focus simply on the logic. And then with that pure code knowledge, you can use it for more advanced programs too. The sooner you start learning on Khan Academy, the sooner you'll be able to move on to more advanced programs and hopefully a career. Thank you for listening, and feel free to critique this speech from my blog. And as I said before, start coding today.